Expat news reminder, no person is illegal and borders are man-made. They're not real. They're totally man-made. It's like, maybe let's start thinking about why we have them. Right? Like, doesn't demark culture, sameness, language in any way, right? Is it to keep people out? What is it for? Like, what are we doing, guys? I like the light shining through because, pause. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Art. Think about it. Think about it. Why are we living how we're living? This week's The iNews. I say this because for all of my life, there's been a country, North Korea, that we're just like, yeah, we don't know what goes on there. And it seems real dark and people are not probably happy because they have no freedoms or abilities, but like, we're just going to ignore that. What? Why are we okay with that? Let alone all the problems in our own countries as well. So it's just a reminder that these are the times where we get to talk about everything in a new way, to build a new world that can function even better. Right-siding it, always. Being in Paris on the day that those tariffs against Europe were announced, let's see what happens when I try to take $20 to get changed. Let's see. Nice guy in there. $20 gets you 16 euros. $20, 16 euros. It's gonna get way worse, you guys. Let's just look at Notre Dame for a sec. That's pretty. Notre Dame moment. And sadly, the idea for Expat News is you don't have to be out of any country to feel like it's not your own, right? Like, right now we're all feeling pretty, what the? And so Expat News is for all of us who don't feel like the status quo in any way represents what we're about. But this is what we're dealing with. A gajillion-dollar university is getting a restraining order against a man who has lost cases about abusing, women. So that's where we're at. Just putting this here for every reason, because this hero is reminding us of the horrors people do to each other. All people of all kinds of everything can do horrors. So, legend. Gave him a big ol' award. Big ol' award. And he compared himself to Kirk Douglas, which is really interesting because when I was in Los Angeles, there's a book called LA Confidential or something like that. Oh no, sorry, that was this movie. It's called Hollywood Confidential or something. It's from years ago and it tells all these stories of old Hollywood, really dark stories about women disappearing and having things happening to them and just literally horror stories. And amongst those are rumors because, if we can't prove things, right? It's sort of the idea that gossip, part of it had its origin in keeping women safe so that women would talk about things so they would know what's going on, because obviously if they're not going to get covered and dealt with, you need to keep it on the DL. So it just reminds me that there were a bunch of really dark stories and some of those were linked to Kirk Douglas. And so just made me think of that. Obviously the truth of those stories, but him using him to say that he's learned a lot from history. Also France, where Roman Polanski is still just like a dude that like walks around the streets and is cool with the whole child rape thing. I mean, I know it's complicated, but also this is what was happening in a major sports organization. So I think we can officially, we know this, but men on their own, oh my God. This is traumatic, a horror. We cannot leave men alone unsupervised because what? And if this is what we know happened, 15 years ago in recent history is what I'm saying. Oh my God. What? Also, Gronk, like the hero for sharing this. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming, but we love it. We love an arc. This is the major news. Our heroine, Gisele Pelicot, there was a hearing and no men showed up for it. Officials, coulda, shoulda, woulda, just didn't go. Didn't go. So when people think, oh, over there, oh, I'm going to go there. What? Same issues dappertutto, everywhere. Gisele deserves better and women do. Well, following up on the last piece about the men together and the one in a professional environment, jerking off. This men are just abdicating. What are we going to do? And here's a further question to those men, to the women in their lives. What's up? Are you okay? Like, did you talk to them about it? But also, are you okay? You know what I mean? It was a Senate hearing in France and men didn't show up. This is the same country that was so proud to codify into law women's right to get an abortion, right? This is also the country that, wait for it, and then also in France, they just want to be like, no more on sustainability, so you guys. And then this, yep. So it's just, a lot of places. I know I'm just covering Europe and America, but you're getting the gistola this week. Be well. Right? But I also wanted to end on this note because this also happens. Yeah.